Hello, this is Mr. Presley. I'm here again to show you a little math. Today we are looking at geometry. Use trig to find angles, cosine only. Now previously we did these with the word sine, so this shouldn't be too much of a new idea to us. All right, so here's our problem, and what I'm going to do is to ease up what's on the screen. Just keep this and the last instruction. We got to find the measure of angle y, which is that x right there, that little bitty x, to the nearest degree, which means whole number. Well, it's not too hard of a problem. Here's x, and we have two sides on a right triangle. Across from the right angle is always your hypotenuse, which we abbreviate HYP, hypotenuse. Now, what we've been doing was sine, and we would have a side down here, the opposite. But we don't have an opposite this time. We have an adjacent. We have this leg that's touching the angle, so that's the adjacent. Well, it turns out that the cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Cool? All right, so let's see what we can do. What we do is we fill in what we know. We know that x is our angle. That's what we're trying to figure out, but we do know these two sides. Adjacent, 43, goes on top. Hypotenuse, 79, goes on bottom. Let's use a little color there. Here's my adjacent, 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 43. Okay, so now what do? Oh, no, x is trapped. Well, if you learned last week, remember that we're going to have to untrap it by using what we call the inverse, and this is called the inverse cosine. And so now you guys are using the little yellow calculators, and if I'm not mistaken, you'd hit second cosine to get that little -1 to show up. Now, I got my calculator here, and I'm just going to type that in. I just type in what I see. Inverse cosine. Usually that starts a parentheses for me. 43 divided by 79 equals. Now to start out with, I get this big ugly decimal. And because I'm on the notes here, I'm just going to write all these, couple of them out, blah, 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 blah. But I want the nearest degree, which means whole number. So if it asks for degree, the nearest degree, that means don't want a decimal at all. I want to stop at the decimal. So that's either going to be 57 or 58. And the little zero says round down, so keep it at 57 degrees. So 57 is my answer. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the computer, you won't type the little O there, the little degrees. You'll just type 57. Okay? I would say any questions, but you can't ask me questions until Google Meet. So you can always come to my Google Meet, and I'll help you out. All right, let's look at another one, or email me. Now, let's see. I think I have two of these, so I got one more to show you. All right, so for this one more, the only reason I'm doing this one is sometimes the x is at the bottom. Well, here's x. Here's my hypotenuse across from 9.4. And next door to the x, right there like its arm or its leg, right there next to it, is the adjacent side, 1.9. I don't have an opposite like I did for sine. I got something next to me, adjacent. So that would be another cosine. And remember, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And we're trying to work backward to find those angles. So the cosine of x, that's my angle. Now let's use that highlight again. Here's the adjacent. Here's the adjacent. Here's the adjacent. 1.9. It's like fill in the blank. And then hypotenuse is 9.4. Just like the last problem, we're going to use inverse cosine of this fraction to go backward to the angle. So it's like retracing your steps to figure out the angle, like a little mystery. So inverse cosine, I'm using a different calculator. 1.9 divided by 9.4, and I got a crazy looking decimal again, and I got to go up and see my instructions, which is going to mess up my screen momentarily, but it'll be okay. It says nearest tenth of a degree. Nearest tenth of a degree. Now, I can't leave that up there, so I'm going to write over here tenth. Well, tenth is one decimal place, and that would be that first 3. So we're either going to have 78.3 or 78.4. Well, the next digit is a 3, and that means round down. So 78.3, we stay there, and we get 78.3 degrees is our answer. Now that concludes this video, and I hope you're having a great day. I will see you later. Email me if you have any questions.